Today, I am going to share the most important sign that you are ready to retire earlier than you might think. I've consulted over 100 pre-retirees in the last year alone, and that experience has taught me that people who are in a good place to retire often do things that others do not, knowingly or unknowingly. Retirement is all about having plans in place, proactive plans that tell you what you should do, but also reactive plans that tell you what to do in case of an emergency. And those reactive plans are what you rely on when one of your proactive plans goes wrong. Now, the group of people who are unknowingly in a good position to retire early are frequently there because they have been better about preparing their proactive plans. They've been better savers, more disciplined investors. But what they are missing and why they don't believe they can retire are those reactive plans, the contingency plans for when things go wrong, but also modeling, talking about, and documenting how they would navigate when things do go wrong. Professionally, I think about this experience of setting up reactive systems with a baseball analogy. The more systems you have in place, the more at-bats you have. See, a baseball player having more at-bats means that they have more opportunities to hit the ball. Well, it's the same in retirement. So those people who are on track but may not feel on track usually have set themselves up for more at-bats, but very often unknowingly. So what is the sign you can look for to help identify whether you have set yourself up for those at-bats? That sign is that you have started shifting out of a saving mindset. Instead of thinking how much should I save and where should I save, you start thinking about things like, how will I extract my retirement savings in the most efficient manner possible? Or should I do Roth conversions? Now, often we subconsciously recognize when we have enough, even if our logical brain does not come to that same conclusion. So even though you may be watching this and still feel anxious about whether you do have enough, ask yourself, have I found myself being drawn towards more advanced retirement concepts, exploring things like guardrails withdrawal strategies, or Roth conversion break-even ages, or how sequence of returns risk might affect my portfolio? Now remember, exploring those things are a sign. They are not the solution. They are a sign that maybe you actually have enough money to retire and that you subconsciously know that. And usually when I see this sign during a consultation, I dig a bit deeper and I find that this person or couple feels free to explore those more advanced concepts because when asked if they think they have enough money, they say yes. And then when I ask them why they haven't retired if they think they have enough money, they usually don't have an answer. And professionally, I believe it comes down to the fact that while they may have enough money, they don't know the mechanics of how to retire. We often think that once we know how much money we need to retire, it will be simple to sail off into retirement. Not so. We need to know how to retire. How will I execute my finances in retirement? How will I craft a paycheck in retirement? How will I pay taxes in retirement? So frequently, this group are financially ready to retire. They've got their retirement boat built, but they don't really have a navigation system or an engine for their boat, which is why, to me, they appear ready to retire because I know the navigation system and I know how to build a retirement engine, but they themselves don't feel ready to jump in a boat without a navigation system or an engine and sail across the unpredictable open ocean. So to quote Alex Hormozy, a great businessman and mentor of mine, anxiety comes from having many options, but a lack of clear priorities. Having enough wealth to retire doesn't actually help us prioritize. In fact, it creates anxiety because it creates more things that we then have to prioritize. I've finally succeeded at this thing I've been shooting for in many cases 30 plus years, which is having enough money to retire. And all of a sudden, the door opens to a whole new set of decisions and priorities that I have no experience with and no idea how to manage. So even though we may know consciously or subconsciously that we have enough money to retire, we don't have a clear way to prioritize which retirement actions are the navigation system and the engine of our boat against which actions are the accessories. So let me say it now loud and clear. Exploring Roth conversions or strategies to minimize RMD taxes or qualified charitable distributions are distractions. They are the accessories. Figuring those things out first is like slapping a mat wrap or a spoiler on your boat. Those are fine things to do, but you need a navigation system and an engine in order to drive the boat. The navigation system and engine of your retirement boat are an expense tracking system, an understanding of safe withdrawal rates, a withdrawal system, and a real portfolio risk management system. Each of those systems gives you more at-bats to course correct your retirement, helping you have a contingency plan to help you react when something goes wrong, which will thereby give you the confidence to combat the uncertainty and unpredictability that comes with leaving the world you have known, employment, for the world of the unknown, retirement. Now, after hearing all of this, I encourage you to ask yourself, what systems have I set up that give me the power to react when things go wrong? And if there are things that I am nervous about, for instance, my portfolio going down, or my withdrawal rates being too high, or spending more than is responsible, am I nervous because I haven't got a system in place that I understand and feel confident will give me tools to safely react if something were to go wrong? To share one final easy example that hammers this point home, asset allocations are the most common risk management tool that people use for their portfolios. The asset allocation is supposed to tell you to split your money between risky and safe investments, and that by doing so, you have risk managed your investments. But does your asset allocation actually give you any tools or a system that helps you react when your portfolio goes down in value? Absolutely not. And that is why many of you watching, despite using an asset allocation to determine your investment portfolio, still fear sequence of returns risk. Because subconsciously, you know that an asset allocation is an accessory, not an engine or a navigation system. And so with all of that said, if you'd like to learn more about how we help our clients build confident, well-prioritized retirement plans and retirement portfolios, you can visit our website at www.thepeakfp.com. Thank you as always for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next video or the next podcast.